Hello, hello. Welcome. It's a Friday night, and you are here with me. It is not 7 o'clock, it is 8 o'clock, and we are very much running on Hmong time, but it's okay. Bay Hmong, it's all right. It's a new year, and here we are. I've got a special treat for you guys tonight. If you're here, then you already know who my guests are for tonight. I've got none other than Sudden Rush with me. So I will be joined by lead singer Pat, guitarist Joe, drummer Roger, and bassist Cam. Chinu couldn't be with us here tonight, but our thoughts are with him. Um, I just want to put this out front and forward. I did test positive for COVID this past Wednesday, and I wanted to sincerely thank all those people who provided support and had warm words of encouragement for me. I do feel a lot better. Fortunately, I did not have any respiratory symptoms, some coughing here and there, but no shortness of breath. More importantly, the worst thing was body aches. I am heavily medicated right now with Tylenol. I do take it every 4 hours, and it does help quite a bit. A small reflection on COVID. Um, it is quite a brutal virus to have. I can only imagine it without. I've got the vaccine, but I can only imagine it without. And my heart does go out to those people who are severely affected by it. And then I also send out my regards to those people whose families have passed away from it. I had an uncle who recently passed away from it, actually on December 31st. But that being said, it is a new year. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for the opportunity to have Sudden Rush here. Let's say hello. Joe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Long?
Good, good. Okay, and we've got Roger and Cam here too,
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
and of course, we've got the beautiful Pat. Pat, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing, Long?
I'm doing great. So we're here doing a reaction video. Um, you guys, first of all, you guys killed it at the concert. You guys have great live stage presence. The last couple of weeks, I've been traveling and recording Hmong concerts. The first concert was Rise Music Festival, RMF in Fresno, and it wasn't so live. There it was mostly tracks, and then I went to Thanksgiving Bash put forward by Trey and Oyo and Circle 18. It was mostly tracks, and then I recorded you guys with chat, and it's very different. Going from playing tracks to playing live music. I will say that there is definitely something very special about living, breathing music, and it was refreshing to see that it's different, but in a very specifically good way. What was your experience of chat?
Pat, you want to go first?
It was great actually. Long. I mean, for me, it was just good to be able to actually get out there and just to be able to perform again. Everything just happened so fast. So yeah, I mean, like every other concert, it was just great to be able to get out and see the fans and to do our thing.
So you guys have some fans from South Carolina. Melanie from South Carolina. It's 11:04 there. Let's go through these highs before we get too far ahead. Susan says hello.
Hey, Melanie. Hey, Susan.
And Missy Va says, glad you're recovering. Yep, so I'm recovering very slowly. Get well soon. Yes, a lot of people are COVID positive, sick. Yep, I agree. A lot of people are getting sick, but that's okay. Yes. And do you guys know Chris? Chris is from Seattle.
Yeah, we know.
Chris is
We know
always
Chris.
here.
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
Chris is gonna have questions for you guys. I guarantee you.
Yeah, we know Chris.
And then Genevieve is the mother of Haoseng Band. Have you guys heard of Haoseng Band?
Yes,
Yep.
we have. I actually followed them a little bit. I think they did a cover of one of our songs, and they actually did a really, really good job.
Yeah, they are stinking talented. They're young kids, but they are so
Mhm.
talented.
They are, for sure.
Dong says hi. You guys know Dong.
Hey, brother.
And Dong was, you guys know him, best friend of Birdlore. Okay. So you guys flew. So the concert was on a a Thursday. Um, what was travel like for you guys coming in? Quite crazy.
It was a long day. I think we all were. Our travel started maybe at like 4 in the morning.
Oh boy!
Yeah,
Wow.
so well, everyone knows. You know, we live in Vancouver, BC, in Canada here, and it's really tricky to fly from Vancouver into the U.S. because they have what they call sterilization stops now.
Huh.
So all inbound flights from Canada into the U.S. they'll stop at a major hub,
Hmm.
and they'll sterilize, I guess, the plane or whatever it is.
Wow.
So it increases your travel time from what would be about 2 to 3 hours to Fresno to about 22 hours.
Wow. Are you
So,
serious?
yeah, so we decided to cross the border by land and
Huh.
fly from Washington State from a town called Bellingham,
Hmm.
and that's about a half an hour drive from where we live.
So
And then
that saved you like a day, pretty much.
so then our travel time went from about 22 hours down to about 4 hours.
Hmm.
So in doing so, we had to get up really early. I think the guys left from Canada around like 4 in the morning because they had to do a COVID test as soon as they got into the U.S.
Hmm.
I was already in Seattle, so I had to drive up from Seattle to meet them at the airport, which was about a 2 hour drive for me from the south.
Hmm.
And what time did we get in? I think we got into Fresno, guys, around like 6 or 7 p.m.
Total travel time was still about 12 hours. Total travel
Like
time. The
all
flight
day.
was only about 4, but total time was still about 12. Like it was an all day thing. Yeah.
Long day.
Just out of curiosity, where's Chinu tonight?
He's actually trying. He's gonna try to enter the chat. He had to do some extra work,
Hmm.
so he kind of got held up at work a little bit. But he
Okay.
just messaged me and he said he's gonna try to join the chat while he's driving.
Okay.
He said it's gonna be a little bit dark, but at least he might be able to kind of chime in a little bit.
Okay, sweet. That's much appreciated. I'm glad we're running 1 hour late then. It works out fine. Okay, well let's see here. Well, I do this thing where we do random cards, and so we'll just do this for the heck of it. I haven't tried this particular deck, but since your screen for some reason is blown up the biggest, Joe, you tell me stop, and then we'll just kind of run with it. Just say when.
When?
Okay.
So what is that? Is that question for me or is
Are
that
we
for
supposed
them?
to be able to see this?
Okay.
How easy is it for you to lose your temper and why? Sorry, random question.
I just lost my temper because I couldn't get Pat's audio to connect.
Well, you got it to
I was just
connect.
gonna say, could answer that one.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys, Pat, what do you guys think? Cam Raj?
It depends on how tired and hungry I am. That if I'm not tired and I'm not hungry, I relatively stay um, pretty mellow.
No, yeah.
So,
I thought that all of you guys were really chill, nice people. I mean, you guys were so. When I met you guys, you guys have been nothing but outstanding musicians and very understanding. Like, I've seen where with sound checks and whatnot, certain bands will get pretty frustrated with sound checks. But I got the impression that you guys are pretty dialed in from what I saw. And so I will say, I will comment to you guys that you guys are probably one of the most organized bands in terms of your sound checks. I mean, you guys do some. I won't give all the details away, but you guys do some very specific things that make your show very well and smooth moving, which sometimes causes problems too, as you guys know. But um, yeah, you guys are very well organized and professional, and that makes a band a lot easier to work with. So
Thanks, Long. We appreciate that.
thank you.
let's see here. So Tricity from Pausang says hello, Sudden Rush.
Hello, Tricity.
Hi.
Tricity is the bass player.
Okay, awesome.
She got my glass. Sacramento.
Oh, very nice. So for participants, you guys know how this works. Um, the way this live session works is I interact as much as you guys want to. If anybody wants to come on live and ask questions directly to Sudden Rush, then just message me on my Facebook and I'll bring you on live and then we'll chat and you can ask them whatever questions you want. Just make sure it's appropriate. Okay. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Chris took me up on this offer. How do you guys know Chris?
Chris is actually hey Cam, you might know a little bit better, right?
Yeah, Chris is he's a family friend. We have a lot of friends that live just south of the border, and he's a cousin of theirs. And Chris actually he's come up here a few times to visit us, and we've partied a few times here in BC. So we've known Chris for a while now.
Well, you know what? Let me pull up my Facebook really quick because he may have texted me already. Oh, look, I think he did. Hold on here. So if you're watching us tonight, do me a big favor and share and subscribe this feed. And we'll kind of move from there. I do apologize. I will periodically cough because I am a little under the weather, to say the least. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so let's move on to our first song. So our first song will actually be the very popular song "Me Don't Mong." Tell me about this song. What was the origin of the song? How did you guys write it and whatnot?
Shall I take this one?
Yeah, go for it, Pat.
All right, so yeah, I can't remember when, but my sister was dating this guy from California, and way back way back, I think this was one of the first songs that I wrote. She used to come downstairs and hang out with me at my parents' place. I was still living at home at the time. And she would always be on the phone, and so she'd like have all this food and like the rice with water deal, right? And it would just like be on the table, and she'd be talking on the phone, and the rice would get all like shoo, and I'd be like, "Are you gonna eat that or what?" Right? And I was always just kind of sitting in the background, just strumming, on the guitar and just getting ideas together, just doing my thing. And so I thought I'd write this little song. I wanted to write a song that sounded old school, but kind of like with a modern twist to it. And so I just came up with this almost like lullaby sounding song, and I brought it to Joe, and I was like, hey, I got this idea, right? And so we recorded a really rough demo, and it just it just kind of became what it was. So Joe came up with a fuller instrumental for it, and it just came along really fast, and I don't know, people just liked it. So
Isn't
that's
Min
it.
Dong, isn't Min Dong Mong the song that you showed me at Christmas time? Was
I don't know.
that?
It was the one that I came over and I recorded it on the acoustic. Do you remember? And we just like we didn't plug anything in. We just put a mic like to me and the guitar. It was really basic.
I thought it was the one that we were at Christmas and we were in Cam's place, wasn't it? When I was like laying on the couch and I was playing the guitar. Was it that one?
I think it was when you were at your first place. It was like way back, like way back.
Okay. I don't even remember.
Like
it's been so long.
When you first moved out to Langley, that first place. Yeah. I don't know, but it was so long ago. It was one of like the first songs that I ever wrote.
It was so long.
I used to strum so clumsily at the time. Like when I listened back to the demo, and I was like, "Damn, oh well." I mean, I was able to convey what I wanted to Joe so that he could create the track. So see, that just proves that you don't have to be a pro to have good ideas.
Nice. When you guys are recording, so let's see, what year would you say this song was roughly written?
Probably the same year as Me No. Pretty close, right, Joe?
Pretty early on.
We were pretty active that year. Maybe
2006, maybe.
Yeah. I don't want Leah to get mad at me if I got the years wrong.
Yeah, I think it was around 2006 because it was like a year and a bit before I met my wife, and I met my wife in 2007. Mm-hmm. So,
what were you guys recording on at that time?
You have to ask Joe that.
So
Can't get bored.
so what I was using to make like the drum beats and all the keyboards and stuff like that, I was using a software called Reason.
Reason, yeah.
Yeah, so like back in the day, I was really into like techno, rave music and stuff like that. So I was like trying to make trance music and all this stuff. So I used that to do all the drum tracks and I was actually recording on, I think it was what's it called again? It was called Wave something Wave. It was like it wasn't even like a multi-track capable. It was just like one shot go type deal. Like I had like zero knowledge of how to record or track anything. I had no software, nothing. And then I ended up buying Cubase, like way back in the day. It was like Cubase, I think it was like Cubase 2 or 3 or something like that. I don't know. It was like one of the earlier versions of Cubase. And I ended up using that for a little while there. So I think for that whole first album, we were using Cubase.
Wow, that's cool. It's so important to note because people don't realize in 2006, that was when DAWs started coming about a little bit more.
Yeah.
You had Pro Tools, but Pro Tools was expensive, and it was clunky and not user friendly at all. So that's good. That's really cool. Any of you other guys want to comment a little about
I think I'm not sure about the audio for Cam and Roger. I think they just sent a message saying that they can't hear us.
Oh, did we lose their audio?
No,
They
we're
may have,
good.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you
they're
guys
good.
are good? Okay.
Any
That
thoughts
must
on
be
this
an
song,
old.
guys?
No, I think they pretty much covered it. We don't want to disclose who the song is really about. The person who knows who's the song about. So we'll leave it at that. But it was definitely about your traditional, Hmong or Hmong and the symptoms that come with it about not wanting to eat and watching the water in your rice soak up. I think that's very Hmong. That's a very Hmong thing. No other Asian would even understand what that meant. But so I think that's where it all comes from, is just that the jitters of the New Year time and the long distance relationships. I believe all of us, at least the old school people who didn't have internet and and all the easy access to the net. When you actually had to go to the New Year, dress up nice, and go ask a girl in the audience to dance type thing.
Those were the good old days. Those were the good old days.
And in our generation, yes, we are of that age. I think it was a great experience that these kids would never understand, but that's kind of the aura that hopefully that song gives off, because that was written for that era.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I did a live blog at the New Year, and an individual Lang, he owns Yummy, I think, and he came up to me. We took a picture, and I put him on my blog. But he basically said, "Hey, Long, it's great, but these kids they'll never experience what it was really like for an old style party to find a girl, and then after to dance during that slow song." But you know what's really funny is I was a young kid, but my sister was in the generation before. I don't know if you guys are old enough for this, but I wasn't. I was too young. But in the 80s, if you remember, if you have older siblings than you guys will, but remember when the guys used to come over to your house and they would come in like pairs?
Yeah.
We remember
knocking
that.
the door and
That's what a lot of the songs are written about, actually.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's
Funny.
that's so that part of our culture is so beautiful. But those are the days where you took a girl out past 10 o'clock and you had to marry her. It was in that time.
That's so funny that you mentioned that, because when I was little, like, I don't have any older sisters, right? But my aunties,
Yeah.
So I was like a little kid, and they were growing up during that era where the Hmong boys would come over and come talk to the parents and ask for permission to take the girls out. And so I remember they would always take me along, because it was like you would always take a little kid along, right, to chaperone. And so I feel like right, some of the songs that I've written are kind of based on just my observations of what I felt the Hmong culture was, when I was a little kid watching everybody else grow up. And just like you said, like, I think we kind of missed that era, but we're not quite like into this new era, right? So I mean, for me, I feel like I'm kind of stuck in between. Like I didn't get to experience like the old school kind of party stuff that, you know, like the generation before me did, but I'm too old for this new generation, so I kind of feel like like I just don't fit in. Where you know, a lot of the songs that whenever people ask me like, you know, where I come up with my lyrics and stuff, or you know, draw inspiration from it, a lot of it is from my observations of the Hmong culture as a child and what I thought it would have been like, you know, to be a teenager. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was good times. Good times. It's definitely different now. I mean, imagine if people just swiping now. That's what they do now. How horrible. But
Yeah,
what do I know?
you show up at someone's door to talk to their daughter or whatever, you're like gonna get the cops called on you these days.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. All right, let's take a look at the song. It's gonna stream straight from YouTube, so hopefully it goes smoothly. The audio should be decent, but it might be a little bit glitchy. For anyone that's interested, all these videos will be live literally in 30 minutes on my YouTube page, and I'll put them onto my Facebook page also. So let's share this screen really quick. Because I'm sharing it, then we can't do a live reaction, unfortunately. But we'll comment on it afterwards. Let's see here. Is there audio?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we can do live reaction. Oh, but it's glitchy.
There's a lot more people than I remember.
I think the capacity of that room was like 700 or 800. Joe, is that you doing harmony?
Yeah, that's me.
It's pretty on point.
wow, that room looks really full.
There's more people than I remember there being.
I think part of it is because you guys can't see as far back.
Yeah. Yeah, I normally don't wear a hat, but I left my hair stuff at the venue. I couldn't do my hair, but I just had to wear a hat the whole day.
Wow, that crowd is loud.
The audio sounds really good, Mo.
Thank you. It helps if the band's really good.
I'm pleasantly surprised that it sounded a lot better on that side of the stage.
Okay. So, what's your gut reaction?
My gut reaction
There
is,
was
damn. I think that was cool. I mean, it was a lot more people than I remember, and yeah, I mean, we use in-ear monitors on stage. We don't use the floor wedges anymore, and
Mhm.
like for some reason during sound check, everything sounds good, but then once you come on stage live, like the crowd soaks up all the room noise and everything, so
Yeah.
it sounds a little bit different. But
How much
it
of the
sounds
audience bleeds into your in-ears?
not too much. Not surprisingly, not too much. I don't really remember hearing a lot of the crowd.
Oh, so you guys don't have the slightest clue how freaking loud they were.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
we
god,
usually have to
are you
we usually have to
serious?
pop our ears out just to kind of hear what it sounds like. But our earbuds they drown out the crowd pretty good. So you only hear what's
Yeah.
coming through. Yeah.
So Pat, earlier you said that they were loud. That's not loud for your audience that night. That was not loud because you'll hear like okay. So I went to RMF. I went to Thanksgiving Bash. I went to you guys Sudden Rush, and then I went to Winter Jam. When you guys did Me Nong, it was louder. I mean, Chenning's song. I put up a video of Chenning doing his live a cappella set with the crowd singing, which seemed like it was loud. But in my opinion, when you guys sang Me Nong, given that there was a smaller crowd, slightly smaller crowd, I thought they sang so freaking loud during Me Nong. Like they were so loud because
they
you guys were
did, yeah.
because like you guys were playing, you guys were full out. Like Roger was straight out playing, and you guys were playing your guitar. And when they sang, they were still covering. Like it's one of those times you're like, it doesn't matter how loud you turn your speakers. When people sing out, they'll beat out
Yeah.
the speakers. And
Even with my in-ears, I felt like like I couldn't seal them out. Like, not that I mean that I want to completely, but it was like at the point where they were singing so loud that I could barely hear myself in my in-ear monitors, right? So there were a few times during the set where I just popped them out. I was just like, I can't hear anyways, so I'll just see what it sounds like. And I thought the crowd energy was just super awesome. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I don't.
it just seemed really loud to me.
I can't. I mean, I play with Paradise, and I've never heard anyone a crowd sing that loud before. I mean, that was far none the loudest I've ever seen a crowd. Nian Lao says hello from Kitchener.
And
Hello.
yeah.
Jan says love to my neighbor from up north,
Hi, Jen.
and Lao Su says hello from Sacramento, California.
Hello.
There are a couple of comments earlier too. Damn, low key wish I was there one day though.
You missed out. Should have came out.
Yeah. While we're talking about this, well, if people wanting to see you again, do you guys have any gigs lined up or anything?
We don't at the moment because of Canada is actually because of the Omicron virus variant. Canada has actually started to lock everything down again. So they're imposing more travel restrictions, and they're advising Canadians not to travel. And they're also warning that it might be more difficult to come back home. So we are taking everything with a grain of salt right now, and we are accepting like bookings or bookings requests, and depending on when and where these potential shows might be, it's really going to be determined by what the travel restriction situation is here in Canada, because Canada's really not taking anything lightly right now. So they're kind of doing the maximum of what is required to keep the virus out of Canada. So that being said, we don't have anything currently planned or booked, but we are looking at a few options right now that we'll announce later on if everything goes through. But we are being a little bit hesitant because we just don't know how heavily restricted we're going to be in a coming while here.
I was talking to some of the other promoters, and we were talking about how we thought that you guys had to be super careful for this concert because you're not like the rest of us. You don't just do the concert and then you go home. No, you guys have to screen to go back home. If you guys test positive, then the repercussions are so much higher for you guys. Basically, you test positive, they might not let you in, more or less. Is that fair to say?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very stressful thinking about all the technicalities and all the paperwork and the test that you got to go through, and then the possible random test when you get home as well, and yeah, and whatever box you check, whether it's positive or negative, then the downstream effect just keeps going from there, right? So it's huge amount of effort and stress, and just mind-boggling the travel and all the complications with the
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys all made it home. That's the most important thing. You can
Thanks,
test
love.
positive later as long as you guys made it home. All right, so hello
Yeah.
from Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi.
Nick from Loner says, hello, Sudden Rush and Long. Great to see you guys tonight. Hope
Hey.
things are
Hey,
well with
Nick.
everyone. Did you guys ever get to play with Nick?
Yeah, they actually performed at our concert
It
in
was
Sacramento.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in 2019, I think. Yeah, so we had a
2019.
chance to meet all the guys.
Yeah, cool guys, really cool guys.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we're gonna see the song that was, in my opinion, the loudest song ever that I think I've ever heard, ever, and that's Me No. But I was looking at it when I was making the film. I was like, well, they were so loud because you guys milked them properly. And you guys were very smart about how you did it, because you played the song, but you really just played the minimal amount of it. Did a 2-minute solo, right? Like a 2-minute solo into it that led into it. And by the time, by the time you guys actually played the riff, people were like salivating already. And that's what they were so loud. And so
I think we did that for us because we've been playing the song for so long, and I know everybody always wants to hear it, and we're like, oh man, how can we do it so that we're still excited about it?
Yeah,
that was actually Chinu's idea, because he was like, hey, like instead of just jumping into it, let's do something in the beginning just to kind of lead into it, and then he started playing around with some chords, and then I started playing around with some chords, and he started throwing a couple of leads, and then we were like, hey, like why don't we trade guitar leads a little bit, and just kind of saturate the crowd a little bit, and just kind of take them on a little journey. And then we'll just hit them with the song right after, because we normally play Minong at the end of our set, so we didn't want to be so predictable this time. And yeah, I mean, it really panned out. I mean, everyone loved it. It had the effect that we wanted, and it was good.
Yeah, I thought you guys did great. When you did yours, I think it was you that did your little solo part. It almost sounded like Dong Dong, almost. And then it threw me off. I was like, oh, I thought this was Me No, but it's not. Oh, I cheated though, because I could look and I could see your set list. That's what made me a little bit different from everyone else. I could look at your set list.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's always So what they had over there, if remember on the stage left side, there's that big LED screen.
Yeah.
And so I always shy away from going on stage if I can get shot, if I can be on that screen. So I try to hide, but I figured that you guys would want to really see the footage of me on stage shooting into the crowd. And I think at one point, Joe, you told me, I don't care, go up on stage and film it anyways. So I was like,
yeah,
okay,
that's what I said. I said, dude, just do whatever you want, man. Like, just run around us. We'll try to interact with you, and feel free to just use the whole stage,
Yeah, the footage was good. I didn't want to be on stage with people looking at the LED screen because it's distracting. You guys should be I didn't want to distract them, but I got really good footage. So I'm actually glad I did break some of the rules and go on stage. So I got some really good footage of you guys. So let's see here. Let's go some really quick comments really quick here. Hey, Sudden Rush, Hill, hi. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, well, give me 1 sec here. I didn't share it properly. Is that sharing correctly? Oh,
I can't see the video.
Here we go.
There you go.
To see the full quality, guys, it'll be up in about 20 minutes. Oh, Raj, you are playing so freaking passionately right here. It's amazing.
He's in the pocket there, man. He's feeling it.
I know, look at him. Yeah, he has to kick in the ride, but he's
that's what they called making love to the drum kit, man.
Yep, I agree. Oh, we got Chinu. Hey, Chinu. Chinu, can you do mic check?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Chinu.
I made it just on time for this.
Hi, Lee. This is great, Long. This is so cool, man.
Wow, I didn't think they could get any louder.
They get super loud during the chorus. I don't know what prompted Cam to shoot me with his bass. I think nearly everybody was singing. Like,
that is loud.
Everyone was singing.
And they sound louder than the band.
Yeah, they always run the speakers. I thought they did.
That sounds like a soccer stadium.
Yeah. All right. So Minong is one of those songs where you play Minong and or you can identify a Hmong person by that song. You just ask them, "Have you heard of Minong?" And they say no. Then you just automatically assume they're not Hmong. You cannot be Hmong and not know that song. So
Oh yeah.
super energetic crowd during that song. Like I said, I don't think I've ever heard a crowd so loud before. I couldn't point out a single person who I think was not singing. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the Bud Light definitely helps too.
but like yeah,
Yeah, but no, that crowd was amazing, and like it's one of those things like there's always times in a live set where like things go wrong and things don't go according to plan. Your gear starts acting up on you, the PA acts up,
yeah,
but we always play that song, and that's for some reason that song always goes off without a hitch, no matter what happens on stage. Like it's never happened during playing Minong. So
oh,
Knock on wood.
yeah, knock on wood, right? But it's always been like
Because
the
we said
saving
that.
grace for us. Yeah, like when we're feeling down during a set and we're like, crap, like things didn't go well, we play that song, the crowd goes nuts, and like everything's good.
nice.
I'm
Um,
so amazed at how well behaved that crowd was too. Like just look, when you were like the camera was going around the room, I'm like, nobody's pushing or anything. Everyone's just doing their
yeah,
thing, right? And
the crowds in
that's
general
pretty
this year were
amazing.
really good.
Mhm.
I didn't see any fights. No chair throwing or anything. Um, talking about chair throwing. Um, Dang's here. Dang says hi.
Hey,
Hi,
dang.
Dang.
Um,
Poor Dang.
so, where is this at? Home 5U. This is in Fresno at Royal Hall. Is that right? The Royal Hall?
Regency Event Center.
Regency Event Center. Oh, gosh. Okay. Thank you for that. You guys are amazing live.
Thanks, Jen.
There's something about live music that speaks to the soul directly. I would agree.
Yep.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
Creation says, "Sup guys? Time for another Sudden Rush remix." Yeah.
Hey, brother. Yep, it's definitely time, man.
Um, Nisi says, "Long will we be able to rewatch these clips after your short video teaser the other day? I had that song on repeat on YouTube. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. Yeah. So the 4K clips should be out in just a couple of minutes. Ashley says, "Go Sun Rush."
Yeah, Ashley.
Dang says, "Missed you guys already."
Oh man, Vitsake Day. That's why, man.
Chris has his first question for you guys. How did the live collaboration come about with Dang?
A six
Ginu,
pack of
do
beer
you want
and
to
a
answer
bottle of
that
whiskey.
one?
What's that?
Maybe Ginu can answer that one.
You got you.
You guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. I'll turn your volume up a little more.
Sorry, like I'm just on the road heading home right now from work, so
Just
I'll do
drive
the best I
safely.
can. Yeah,
We
we'll
can hear
do.
you.
I'm almost home. Yeah. So yeah, me and Dang have been working on some music since the start of the pandemic here. Um, and prior to that, we run into each other between shows and stuff. So, it was just one of those things where we kept talking about it that maybe we should collaborate and jam live or do something together. And then that kind of got to us actually, working on a song or two together. And when this opportunity came up that Dang was going to be on the same bill as us, it was just, it was time to kind of test the waters a little bit, and make it work, play a couple songs, and kind of get a feel for it, really. And I think that there was something in that really I think inspired us to possibly make something out of this little kind of get together that we had here as far as music. So yeah, just when we found out that Dang was on the bill, me and Joe talked about it that we should get him play a couple of his songs with us and vice versa. But due to the time restraints, we ended up going with just his songs. We actually chose 3 songs to do. One of them was actually going to be an original song that Dang and I had worked on together that we had finished up already, but we just never really got to finishing that one as a band together. So we ended up going with Dang's 2 most popular songs, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
What was it like performing with Dang on stage?
It was exactly as I was anticipating it was going to be. It's refreshing for us. We've been playing together at Sun Rush for so long, so to kind of see, from my point of view, to see a different energy level coming from the other band members, like the brothers there, that's something different to see. And we haven't really, I think, all of us, we haven't really felt that in a while. Just to play something that's not Sudden Rush, right? And just kind of change it up a little bit. I think it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say that, like, Dang is such like an amazing musician. He's such an amazing performer because we rehearsed Dang's songs a couple of times, but because of the distance, like, we never done any live rehearsals with Dang. We actually had him send us his vocal tracks, and we actually rehearsed without Dang, just only to his vocal tracks. And then the first time we ever put everything together was at sound check, and I think we ran through both of his songs twice, and Dang was just like, he was like right on, like spot on. Everything was on the money.
It was already as if like we were already playing together for like years.
Yeah, like I felt like,
yeah,
like musicians, like when you say playing in the pocket, when you're playing in the pocket, in the pocket is like when everything is just like vibing, everything's perfect. Your timing, tones, everything is just perfect. And I think with Dang, he's so good at what he does that like he made it so easy for us to sound good, when we were supporting him. So hats off to Dang for being like as amazing as he is.
Yeah. Well, cool. Any other comments on Dang?
Yeah, I think
nothing but
he
good
has,
things to say about Dang, man.
it's one of the most amazing voices. It's unreal. It's unreal. It's uncanny to hear the tracks and then hear Dang in real life. It's just unbelievable. I think what really brought out our music was Dang's voice. The collaboration was just something that was meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I echo as well too. With just the energy, the new energy with Dang there.
I think the videos speak for themselves too. As you watch us play the 2 songs with him, it's a different kind of energy that we have on stage there. It's just when you put 5 individual members together, whether it's a combination of us and Pat or a combination of us and Dang, whoever it is, the energy is going to be different, and you can clearly see that in the videos, of how we act on stage, how we move around on stage. So it's just us vibing out with each other, and I think we kind of felt that already with that as soon as that first chord strung out, during sound check already. So it was exactly what I pictured it to be. Yeah.
Dang was a beast that night, I gotta say, because usually whenever we meet Dang, he's usually so laid back and he's so shy and he's very calm and reserved. But like that night, like when he started singing the first song, and when Vitake Day, once we got into the chorus, like Dang started going like, he started like almost like going like metal, and I was like, oh crap, Dang's stepping it up, man. He's getting intense. So I had to like, I gotta keep up with Dang, right? I gotta move more. I gotta start vibing more because Dang I've never seen Dang the way he was that night. Like Dang I could feel Dang's energy was like going like, went from here to like here. His energy was just going nuts, and I was like, crap, I gotta keep up with this guy. And then that just like fed me, and I was just like looking at all the other guys, and the other guys were vibing out, and I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. It's just the dudes. And then all of a sudden Dang had a case of beer. I'm like,
yeah, I remember that.
Man, someone gave him a case of beer, and then I saw this poof of like money just go.
Somebody made it. Money.
Someone just threw like a whole like someone just made it rain, and I was like, holy crap.
I remember
Dang.
that.
Yeah, I was like, I just saw all these dollar bills, and I was like, holy crap, Dang.
I don't remember Hmong people doing that, but they've started doing that now. But that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. That was such a different
Yeah.
experience for me. And like, I think the crowd really felt something different. They felt a really different type of energy when Dan came on with us too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of exactly what we were going for is, we didn't want the tempo of the concert to just be like, okay, here's the openers and then there's us and then there's Dang. I wanted it to I want to take the crowd, like the audience on a journey, right? And just kind of like, I wanted it to be like an emotional, physical, and I just want to play with everyone's emotions a little bit. And I think collabing with the different artists that perform with us, instead of just like watching My Year, then watching Sudden Rush, then watching Dang, like I really wanted to incorporate more. Like my initial plan was to actually see if we can incorporate My Year and Tu Chang and who's the other artist?
Tiana.
Tiana, and to incorporate everyone into our set. I was hoping we can bring each one of those artists back into our set and actually, perform one or two of our songs with us. And it never happened because of the time constraints and everything. But in the future, that's what I would like to do because I just think that'd be so amazing to be actually be able to really physically share the stage with these artists that put in so much time to come out and support our show. I want to actually like do something with them, and I thought that would be really meaningful.
I think a lot of these artists, once they taste like live sound, they'll be hooked. Once you have a live sound, you've been on a live stage, and you vibe and you manipulate live sound, you'll never want to play tracks again. The way it breathes, it's like worse than crack, dude. It's worse than
Totally, man. Everything from like the thunderous feeling of that, like to just feel that kick drum going.
Oh yeah.
When the kick drum's going on and you're on stage.
Well, we've got a special guest here. We've got
Hi,
Chrissy
Ashley.
here. She's been waiting for a little bit. I've held her off a little bit. Chrissy, how are you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I'm doing good. Hi, Sunrush. Hi, Long.
How are you?
Hi.
Well, I just want to first start off by saying, you guys have inspired me a lot. I went to you guys' concert in 2019 in Sacramento, and I don't know, you guys just changed music for me as an individual, because it was just me. Hosting band wasn't there, but yeah, I went, and you guys just really changed music for me that day, and it was really fun. I love hearing all of you guys' songs. It was just so life-changing for me to hear a live band, a full band, and it's just inspiring how you guys are a family band as well. So yeah, you guys are very inspiring to us, hosting band. And my question for you guys was, what keeps you guys going? Because I know you guys have been a band for a long time, so I'm wondering, what's your guys' motivation?
Yeah, I think the big part of our motivation is the fact that we are all siblings, and the last thing we want to do is let each other down. So I think the key thing is that like being family and having that bond. Like we always gotta be a rehearsal. I gotta be a rehearsal because I don't want to let them down. They gotta be there because they don't want to let me down. And I think the fact that we've grown up and we've always kind of been around each other, we kind of know each other's temperaments and we know each other's abilities and we know each other's limitations and we know when to be patient and we know when to push each other. And I think that really plays a huge role. And the fact that we've all grown up learning music away from one another and together, we're able to bring everything together and really, be the glue for one another. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the other guys have anything else to say.
Let's go next.
Yeah, next.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's what Joe said, as well as, like I'm sure we've all had our moments where, we want to quit, or we want to give up, or we're too tired. And but I feel like as long as, one of us wants to keep going, the rest of us feel like we have to support, whoever wants to still keep things going and keeping things alive, and not just between the band members, but I mean, for me, I think that it's also like really just the fans, because I think in the beginning, we made music for ourselves. We didn't really set out with any goals, trying to be famous or write a hit song or anything. We all just really loved music, and so we did it for the love of music and for the love of performing. And we just I guess progressed to this point where I guess we did get popular, and now that I feel like we have this connection with the fans, I almost kind of feel like it's like we owe them this happiness. It might sound a little strange, but like it's like we grew this relationship with our fans, and we can't just like cut it off. So as long as I think we can still keep making music, we probably will just keep doing it, just for the love of music and for that connection.
Very nice. All right, Tricity, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Keep it up, guys. We're following you guys too. Well, I follow you guys. I think you guys are doing a really good job. I've seen you guys progress from when you guys did the cover song of, I think you guys did them. You guys did Giao Hoi Ong, right? Or you guys did Đầm Long Dong?
I think it was Đầm Long Dong.
Đầm Long Dong, right?
Oh yeah,
you guys, you guys did an amazing job, and I've seen your progression until now. So good job. Keep it up, and hopefully we'll share the stage with you guys one day.
Yeah, so I definitely follow them. If you haven't had a chance, get one of these. All right. Okay, Tricity.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, so Trey says that if this is not the #1 cross-generational song, then it's definitely top 3. Creation says this song will always be a classic. I agree. It's going to be bread and butter. Amazing to see you guys come back, international superstars. I remember the first time ever bringing you guys on stage at Seattle, Washington. So you guys must know Jan. Knew you guys were good, but I'm amazed to see this. Congratulations.
Hi, Jan.
Thank you, Jan.
Ashley says everything was perfect that night. I agree. It was really good. Hi, guys. Good to see you guys performing tour again. Miss those days. Let's see here. New says miss y'all. And Jonathan Lee, Joe Nathan Lee says the collaboration with Dang was the highlight of my night.
We actually have a new band name for us in Dang. It's called Danger Rush.
Dang Rush. That's what I'm saying.
Danger Rush. Yeah.
Danger Rush. Okay, very good. Can we get a reaction video? Oh, you know what? I don't. You know, you could. Shua is saying, can we get a reaction video with Dang and Sun Rush? Yeah, that would be a cool idea to do. I've got the video. We could probably do it. It was really a dream come true for me to jam with you guys.
We should do it. Yeah, we should get a couple of Bud Lights in us, and then we'll do the reaction video.
Okay.
Well, it was pretty amazing to watch the performance. Like from the window, like Dang's wife and I were up there, and it was just so like good. I didn't even think to record it. I just stood there and just like watched. So yeah, I think a reaction video would be awesome, because for me, like, being on the stage and usually like having, that perspective to be off the stage and to kind of have like the perspective from the crowd, it was pretty amazing. So yeah.
Very good. We've got 2 songs more, so we gotta. We're 1 hour in. You guys are so easy to talk to that. We're just sluggish, but that's okay. If you guys aren't in a rush, I'm definitely not in a rush.
No, not today. That's for sure.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the next song is actually, I had a bunch of your songs, and I decided to choose. I initially just wanted to do 3 songs, but I did 4 because I think this one was so important to put. And I didn't tell you guys about this. So you guys are my witness. I didn't tell you what songs I chose. So actually, it's Chinu's song, which he commented on, and it's Giao Hoi Ong, because you guys specifically mentioned Burr. Which Burr is so dear to a lot of people. I never actually. I met him one time in person. I met him on, I believe it was September 25th, before he ever got sick, and it was at the first time at Hao Sang's performance at the Rise. The Rise does a night market in Fresno, and he was there, and he was standing by the engineer, and just in a small little passing, we said hi to each other, and I knew who he was. He may have known who I was, but he was a really cool guy. I never really got to know him, but funny enough, I got to know pretty much everyone around him. Like, I got to know Tong really well. I got to know Hao Sang well, and he had been helping them out. And so, I didn't know him directly outside of those few words, but he seemed like the kindest guy. And now that full circle coming around. People keep talking about him. He was really a really nice guy. What was your experience of him?
I think Burr was I felt the same way you did. Like Burr was always there to support us. Like he was there like almost every show that we had in California since we met him back in, I don't even remember, like 2018 maybe it was. But I didn't realize how big of an impact he had made on the music community until I started seeing all of the condolences and everyone pouring out their support for Burr's passing. And I was just like, wow, like Burr was a rock star, you know, not only on the stage but off the stage. And he affected like so many people, and totally blew my mind. And we're definitely gonna miss that guy, because he would have been there that night, you know, in the concert we had on the 30th. Burr would have been right there up front and center.
Yeah. Okay, well let's watch this video. This video, I try not to include dialogue on the video clips, but for some reason I kept it. It was weird because usually I'll stop dialogue and I'll record with the song only, but I guess it was meant to be because I recorded Chinu's conversation, and so I decided to include it because I thought that it was worth including. So let's see here. Well, let's see. It's Chinu. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I can add a little bit to it. Yeah, like for Burr, how you met him was exactly what he's always like that. You would always catch him, you know, behind the scenes, making sure that you know you're sounding good. He's always there to support you. I don't think we've ever had a backstage moment in California of recent that Burr wasn't there, kind of like, you know, giving us the thumbs up or the fist pump, or, you know, telling us good luck on stage. And then he was just always that kind of guy that was always there for you when you needed it. So, and it's good to see him, you know, being that same guy and helping all these younger kids, you know, come up with the resources and the support to, you know, continue the whole live band thing. That was Burr, you know, and he had that look to him, and he had this aura to him whenever you met him, you know, that it was just all positive, and you always felt good to be around him.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Sorry guys, I'm not good with this stuff, but yeah, before we get this next one going, I just want to dedicate this to a dear friend of ours, a fellow musician as well. We just lost him to COVID about a month ago, so I want to dedicate this song to our friend Burr Lore, okay? You guys know him? Musicians, you guys all know him. Very good friend of ours. You guys know that he's always there to help anybody, and he's always been that kind of guy for us. So, song also goes out to everybody here who's lost somebody recently, whether it's the COVID, any kind of sudden death, anything, past, whatever, how long ago. Let's all sing this one to them. So we want to hear you guys sing this super freaking loud. Let's all put our hands up in the air. Let's just sing to those guys, okay? Are you guys ready to sing with us? Let's dedicate this to everyone. I know we've all lost somebody here, so let's do this to Burr and the rest of everybody watching down on us. Let's do it.
So, Pat, you totally sung your heart out in that song. You could tell.
Yeah, I mean, aside from it being a dedication to Burr, that it just happens to be one of my favorite songs.
hmm
Wow, that crowd.
Yeah, they were a beautiful crowd. Um, so Tong really appreciate it. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you guys. Tong says, yeah, Burr definitely know you and knew about you. This is Hao Seng's dad, Miss Brother Burr. He made a big impact on a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
um,
He did.
to say the least. He was a little bit of a deceptive guy because he was like this husky, buff, long hair, blonde hair,
Yeah.
kind of intimidating if you didn't know any better. But he was I can't once you talk to him, he's really pretty soft spoken.
He was a
He
sweetheart.
was
Burr.
always very kind and very super friendly. You know, he was always there.
Yeah, thank you guys for this dedication. Wish I didn't have obligations at night. I would have hung out with y'all. Love y'all. Hopefully we can share the stage in the future. Um, you guys are awesome. Jennifer says, "Can we hear the story?" Oh, you go. Can we hear the story inspiration of my Blong Dong?
Yeah. Since no one's saying anything, I guess. Well, Dan Blong Dong originally started with the music. My brother-in-law, your cousin, actually, Long. His name's Jerry, or he goes by Rock now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shua's younger brother. He
Mhm.
actually he actually was sharing some music with me because he plays the piano,
Mhm.
and he actually made this demo and he shared it with me, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think?" And it had more of like a Chinese anime kind of theme to it at the time,
Mhm.
and I was like, you know what, this is great. Would you mind if I did something with it? And he's like, yeah, for sure. So I created the first like version 1 demo of Dan Blong Dong, and it
Mm.
was pretty rough. It had the essence of what it is now, and I showed Rock and I said, hey, look, like, what do you think? And he loved it. And he's like, oh, this is amazing. And I said, hey, would you be okay if we used it on our album? And he's like, yeah, go for it, no big deal. And then I think that was kind of it with that
Mm.
for at the moment until um, it was Creative Results. They approached us and they wanted to sponsor a couple of music videos, and one of them was going to be Minong, and then the other one was going to be our pick. And so I talked to the rest of the band, and we decided that we needed to release a single. And then after talking and throwing some ideas around, that the Dan Blong Dong sample, the demo, was chosen to become the next single. And I handed it off to Chinu, and he kind of worked his magic on it, and he turned it into kind of what it is now. And then Pat and Chinu came up with the lyrics and the melody for it, the vocal melody for it, and then we worked through that. And yeah, Chinu, Pat, you guys want to comment anything on it?
I can go first, I guess. In regards to the lyrics, it's kind of funny because like at first, okay, so how do I start? At first, it was all about like a reference, like to. I was told once that I'm kind of like a feather in the wind, like my life is just kind of like a feather in the wind. Wherever the wind blows, that's kind of where like I'll be. And just because the life of an artist, where the road takes you, you just don't know. And I think that for those people that shilla the shin they enough to be with somebody that they have to share with the rest of the world, right? It's hard to be with somebody who has to be on the road a lot, especially like an artist, right? And so I couldn't find a reference for a feather in the Hmong language, and so I was like, well, what the heck, right? What else will work besides a feather? And so I guess the leaf metaphor kind of came up. And so, the leaf just kind of represents that the person that, I guess that feather in the wind. And, it's just about the troubles of being with somebody that is in the constant eye of the public, and someone who has to be away from home a lot. And I'm sure that it's a common theme for people that are in relationships, with somebody that is on the road. There's a lot of trust and things like that, and it's hard for the person who's away as well.
Wow, that's some beautiful insight into the song. Part of the reason why I like doing this live session is because people don't get the inside information on the music, nor do you guys always have the outlet to give the inside information. Because if you write an article, it's one thing, but it's a whole nother thing to hear directly out of the artists themselves. So yeah, it's awesome. I never would have figured out about the rice and dating and the inability to find translation for a feather in the wind and to use the leaf. But we've got a hacker really quick. Hold on. Let me see here.
Oh.
Welcome, Dang. How are you? Oh, dang. Oh, no, there's no audio.
Oh,
dang.
no.
He's
Dang, there's no audio. Dang.
Dang was my first ever live interview. Dang, but there's no volume for one reason. Okay, well, Dang, we can't hear Dang, but Dang texted me. He just wanted to give his regards and say hi. Sorry, Dang, there's no audio. I don't know. But Dang wanted to say hi.
Dangerous.
Hi,
Dangerous.
All right, Dang. Sorry, I can get the audio to work.
You guys haven't had a chance to hang out with Dan yet? You should, man. This guy's the funniest guy ever. With a couple of drinks in him. We had some funny jokes after the show. It was just hilarious, man.
We're still talking about that, Dang.
All right, Dang.
You go funnier off the stage. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother.
So the other thing why I love doing this platform is because I can pull up anyone that's willing to come up. So as long as there's a person that's willing to come up, then I can generally pull them up.
Cool.
All right. Any last comments on Dai Blong Dong?
Gina?
You guys got most of it down already. Yeah, musically, when Joe sent me the demo, it was basically the piano and I think the solo part and maybe one of the choruses. So I just kind of played around with the idea and kind of doubled some things up and stretched some parts out a little bit.
The intro for Dai Blong Dong is pretty extensive. It's actually a really drawn out, really beautiful intro.
Yeah, that didn't come in until the very end. until we've already finished the song, and I was just sitting there because the actual main solo, guitar solo, took me like, I swear I went through like 3 packs of guitar strings just trying to find the right feel on it. I spent like probably a week on it.
Wow.
Just doing takes and takes and takes, and none of them. It was either like the vibrato wasn't right, or I slid to the note, didn't do it like correctly with the right feel. So, yeah, that take was just like, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but for me, I can definitely hear it because I'm the one that did it. It's just like I was pissed at that guitar solo. I was just so angry. I just wanted it to to finish it off and get it done. So those vibratos were a little bit aggressive on there, but yeah, musically, yeah, that intro didn't come out till a little bit later. It was the actual song started, um, I believe, where the drums start coming in. Just right after that, the drums start building up. That's kind of where the song actually started off originally. And then once we were done with that, I just felt like we should add something at the beginning to kind of build it up more. So yeah, I kind of came up with that, and that was actually rather quick. That part came up rather quick. Didn't have to think too much about it. Just once the song was done, you just kind of rolled with it and the feel of it. But uh, touching up on the vocals, we went through a couple different variations of the vocal melodies. That's actually not the original vocal melody line. That was actually the first verse is actually what I was playing on the guitar. That was actually a guitar solo that I played. And then Pat had her own vocal melody line, and we just kind of went back and forth of it. I wasn't really, feeling it too much, or it just didn't. The way that the words were just didn't really click as tight as what I thought it should have been. So I was taking a cab home from work one night, and it was really rainy, and I was just sitting there listening to the demo and kind of just jotting together some notes. And I came home and kind of just played around with that melody. And then the next day I called Pat over, and we went over it. I showed her the melody line. I think I recorded it for her so that she can go and try to put some words to it. And then she came back with what it is now. So yeah, it went through quite a bit of a transformation. The music retained most of what it is. We just added some little extra parts in it, but yeah, that's pretty much how it came together. So
even the lyrics went through a lot because initially it wasn't even called Dong. Yeah.
maybe one day we'll maybe one day we'll put together a video showing like all the versions from how the song started to what it is now.
Yeah, that'd be really neat.
It's kind of similar, but the vocal melody lines and stuff. That was yeah, that kind of went through a transformation.
And I think Joe had a version too. It's like Janu had his version, I had mine, Joe had his. We were like trying to figure out, what everybody was able to kind of relate to and would agree on and what sounded best, right? And I feel like we spent so much more time on that song than a lot of other tracks, because usually when they come together, like it just kind of comes together with most of the songs that we keep on the albums. But I feel like this one took a lot longer.
I don't think I've ever put as much effort into a song, compared to this song that we did here. Demblong was probably, I don't know, man. I'm still tired from it. There's a lot of sleepless nights just trying to finish that song.
Because we were also
crazy ridiculous.
We were also passionate about it. We had, like Pat said, we each had our own version, like mentally and physically, like on paper, and we were also passionate about it. That we were like, this is the way it should be, right? So we basically, I think we were at my place, and we basically sat in my studio, and we just basically like duked it out. And I think at one point Pat even like left. She just took off and went home or something like that. She got so heated because we were all so passionate about it. We wanted it to sound so amazing, right? We all had such amazing ideas. And then at the end, like the final version, somehow it all came together, and we were just like, okay, yeah, that's the one right there, right?
It had to have a certain feel to it, whether it's the mood of the vocals. You can tell that it's like angry at times. The bass line too, the accent of the bass line, the drums, the way it hits, the sound of the snare, how it snaps, all that was accounted for. It wasn't just just play this or play that. It's like, no, certain details in it was all thought out carefully and done over and over again until it was the right feel. It wasn't just like do it and one time and get it over with, or everything was calculated for that particular song. It had to had a certain sound and feel to it.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think.
So at the end of the day, whose version does the current version sound like the most similar to?
I think it sounds like there's
I only
essences
remember
from
what
everyone's. Yeah. Like I think it definitely has an equal amount of everything that each of us wanted in there.
That's the only song that we actually drove out to the studio to watch the guy master and like pick at his brain to do for us. Like we had to get it right.
We
All of us
sat there,
went there.
looked
We
over
sat
his
there.
shoulders.
The only one. That's the only song we actually sat there and actually directed him to make it have that sound.
No, okay, since you're mentioning that, because now we're getting really technical. Oh, and by the way, for those who are gear nuts, I actually did do a rig rundown with Chinu's guitar rig. I meant to do you too, Joe, but the engineer was turning up the music. So I figured that was his polite way of saying you guys can stop doing what you're doing now. But eventually we'll get to you. But eventually I'll show a gear rundown of Chinu. But Chinu, since you're mentioning it, now I'm getting technical. Who mixed for you guys that album?
We went back to our original studio that did the first album for us. It's a studio called Digital Sound Magic Studios out in Vancouver here. We didn't have the same engineer as the first album, but it was one of his apprentices, and his name's Devin. He mixed and mastered our album for us. So what we did was we recorded all our dry tracks, did everything, and then we sent it to him to do the mix and mastering for us. So everything was done out of our studio, but we sent all the tracks to him dry, and we kind of made like a quick mix for him of what we wanted with some notes and whatnot, like delays here at this part or a chorus sound here, or we want a big sweeping blah blah blah, all that. And then he would just send us copies of his mixers, and we would just just kind of tweak it back and forth until it was right.
All right. Before we listen to them, I don't know. You have an old friend that's here. He made it home, and he wants to say hi and ask some questions. Let's see here.
Oh snap!
What's up, dude? How you guys doing?
You guys are good, man.
All right, finally made it home, man. I had to run some errands, but I do got 3 questions and a request, or a shout-out request. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. What was the best place or stage that you guys perform at, and why?
I think we each might have our own favorites, so we can kind of go down the line, I guess.
All right, who first?
You can go first, Chee.
Me for sure. I think the most memorable for me would be Wausau, Wisconsin, 2009, 2010. I think if you would have been there long to record that one, to hear the crowd sing on that one, I think you would be probably mind blown 10 times as much as you were for Fresno. I think that show, we had a couple hiccups for that one too regarding like backline and stuff, but I think a memorable show as far as like crowd and stuff, man, I think I haven't really seen. They were all good, but Wausau was just one of those ones that I still remember from like over 10 years ago. So.
I will say something about Wisconsin. Our biggest show was Brown County Arena, which is across the street from Green Bay Arena. I wish someone had recorded that, because I remember that being about almost 6,000 people that one year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And
that's nuts.
6,000 people screaming.
I think that you can still find a video of us playing, in Wausau there somewhere on YouTube. It's an old kind of pixelated video, but it was pretty wild there. I have to say it was a good crowd.
Yeah,
and like you said, maybe the crowd was just overpowering our PA system, but damn, it was pretty loud.
No, if it was loud, that's probably because it was loud.
I think the Wisconsin crowd really, they can really bring it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Chinu. I think Wausau, for me, like when we first got to Wausau, I was kind of like, I'm not sure if anyone here really knows us, right, or knows about us. And when we got on that stage, and I remember Cam's bass amp was like this big. He had like this little tiny bass amp, And like I don't even remember how they pulled the sound off of that because it was just this little tiny like thing. And but anyways, I was like, okay, so and my guitar amp was about the size of a laptop too. And
Wow.
it was just crazy. And we just said, you know what, let's do it. We each downed a beer, got on stage, and we're like, whatever happens, if there's like 10 people in the crowd, then we'll do our best. And we got on stage, and like that whole place, there must have been a couple thousand people in that building. The other guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but there was lots of people there, and the amount of energy and noise that this crowd made, I was just like, whoa, I think like that's the one pivotal moment I had where I'm like, you know what, I think we made it somewhere, guys. I think we're making an impact here. And again, when they sang Minong, when the crowd was singing that, I remember my eardrums just like vibrating. Because back then we didn't use ear protection, we just went naked. And my eardrums were vibrating like crazy because the crowd was like so loud. I've never had that feeling ever since then where my eardrums vibrated like that because the crowd was just so like overwhelming.
Very nice. Pat, Raj, Cam.
It's funny that you guys talk about that show because now looking back, I mean, it wasn't the first one that came to mind, but I think all I remember from the show was like there were a few hiccups with sound check and stuff, so we didn't get to sound check, right? Was that the one where we had to do a couple of songs, right?
We scrambled to get
Right.
Equipment on there. I think I don't remember if that was the Wisconsin show because we did two.
That was Waukesha. That was Waukesha.
One we scrambled once we scrambled to get a back line, and I think one of the local Hmong bands there were able to bring us some of their gear to use. And then the other year, I think the other year it was kind of similar in Wausau too. If it wasn't Wausau.
I remembered when we did sound check and the crowd, I think like I remember saying to them, kid, we're not starting it. This is just a quick sound check. And all of a sudden, like the tables were bare and the people just came like a wave. Like the crowd just, they were all, it's like everybody got up at the same time. It was just like whoosh, like they just came right up towards the stage. And yeah, we're like, okay, so I guess we're just gonna go with it. No sound check, because everybody was already standing there, and so that's my kind of memory of how it all started on that show. But yeah, it was like I do remember it being a really packed room, and just the way that the crowd just like it was just like a wave of people. But it would be hard for me to choose like my favorite show. Like I feel like I don't know. It's tough. I mean, all the shows have been really good. And the fans have they've always been awesome. I don't know why, but like, it might sound kind of odd, but I feel like the one of the smallest shows actually that we've ever done, it's the Varsity Theater for some funny reason. I really liked kind of the coziness because and the feeling of like not knowing if people were actually going to come out for us or not because of COVID and everything, and just how you know how although the crowd wasn't as big as what we normally would bring in, they were an awesome crowd. Like, yeah, so I don't know. I liked the intimacy of having a smaller crowd. But yeah.
Roz or Cam?
Yeah, for me, it's I gotta echo Joe and Chinu too. I think it was the Wausau show for sure. The most memorable for me is I remember when we all landed in Wausau, we are like, oh, how's security? How's everything gonna be? And our host is like, oh, nobody knows you guys here. You guys don't have to worry. And then at the show, like everything just exploded, and there was so much people everywhere and just screaming, and people were like getting crushed at the front too. And then
oh no,
at that point they were like scrambling for security, and we were just kind of like, we told you. It was just like there was so much energy in Wausau there. It's definitely was one of the more memorable ones. But I'd say like one of the best places I like to play, and I think that my heart's always there is Sacramento. I always loved Sacramento. I remember at the Cow Expo, it was probably like 29 there. I don't know, for some reason it was like just kind of like the outside at the Sacramento New Year's. That was one that I did. Just I don't know. I just liked that one, and yeah, it was more memorable to me. But yeah, when it comes to energy, everywhere it's got a lot of energy. But I really like that Wausau one. Wausau and Sacramento.
All right.
I think I can echo.
Let's go back.
Yeah, go. We go back. I would probably say the same thing as everybody else. Yeah.
They were all good. Like they were all really good. I don't think there was not one that was not good, but like one that would stand up like more than the others. Yeah, the last one was pretty good. But I mean, like the Fresno one that we just did was great. The Fresno show that we did where we shot the video for that was a really good one too. It was just that setting was great, and yeah, every show has been really good. The Minnesota, like where we did at the Varsity Theater in Minnesota, that was good too. That was a really nice intimate one. That was a really good one as well. Yeah, they were all good.
I think Wausau was just the show where we felt like, oh my gosh, like did we make it?
Yeah,
like
probably
maybe
it's that
we made
impact.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Wausau's
I think that it was a huge
Wausau's an
one.
interesting place because you drive out there and you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere almost.
I think
And
like
then,
we would have drove through it in like 5 seconds, like on the highway. But like Wausau is like so tiny. I remember it being like there was like a Walmart on one end, and then there was the New Year on the other end, and it took like 2 minutes to drive right through, and you wouldn't even blink. You blink and you'd be gone.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. All right, Chris. What else you got for us?
All right. So the other one, what do you guys do to calm your nerves before going live?
Drink lots of beer. No, I'm just kidding. I think like we played so many shows that I don't actually remember like doing anything to calm myself down because I don't really get really nervous anymore. I get more anxious to get on stage. Like I can't wait to get on stage. But I think having a beer definitely helps. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think it's like what Joe says. It's the opposite. We're not nervous. We're anxious to get on there. So you'll see us in the back, jumping up and down like an MMA fighter or something, and we're anxious to get out there and just do our thing. So not so much nerves, but we tend to have, like any rock star would do, have a beverage and chit chat with some friends and get yourselves, pumped up and ready to go. We pump ourselves up quite a bit and just, we see the crowd and we get very enthusiastic about what we do, and it comes from the heart. So like we don't have to, it's the truth that's coming up from each individual of the band, and so yeah, it's like Joe said, it's the complete opposite of calming the nerves, but actually anticipating, holding back the anticipation a little bit to go, okay, not yet, okay, here we go, and time it right for the crowd.
All right, Chris, your last question and then your request.
I'll skip the third one, but I'll go straight to the shout out.
Okay.
Pat, can you give a shout out to my brother-in-law Yee in Sacramento? He's like a super big fan of you.
Oh, for sure. Hey, Yee. So this is Pat from Sunrush. Hope you're doing well. Just want to give you a quick shout out.
All right, cool, man. Again, love your guys' live performance in Fresno, dude. Sorry, going Stone-ish, but I watched over Facebook, and just listening over Facebook was awesome, and I can't imagine being there live, man. So best of luck to you guys, your endeavors, man, and I'm looking forward to support you guys.
Thanks, Chris. It's good to see you again, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's see here. You guys know these next people, hand waving from Voa and also from Braven. You know them very well.
Hey, uncle, auntie.
Okay, and then the last question: when are y'all coming back to Minnesota?
we just got home.
Maybe when Janu gets married.
I'll probably be there sometime this year. We'll see. It depends on the COVID situation.
Hopefully soon.
I'll be there, but nobody will notice me.
All right, here we go. The last one, guys.
All right.
I think you guys. Wow, I don't think I've ever been live with another group so long. Going to almost 2 hours. Thank you for hanging in there, guys.
Hey,
Seems
man,
like
this is awesome.
Okay, here we go. Let's go with Let me pull this up. I love how gingerly you said that, Pat. Oh, that was the. I saw that. That was Cable.
Yeah, Cam dropped his earbud. It was hanging off the back.
I was almost going to come up and help, but I decided I thought Pat could get it.
I had no idea that Cam dropped his earbud.
I was trying to put it back in his pocket and hang it up, but it just wouldn't.
I didn't see anything that happened back.
I saw it. I was like, oh shit.
So I hope I did you guys justice in recording some of it. The actual footage will look a lot better than this. It's already live. I'm pretty sure people have already started viewing it. But the 4K footage is on my YouTube. I'll put it on my Facebook also. But the real footage with the better audio and the better video is gonna look. It looks even better than this. You guys completely killed it that night. You guys did an awesome job. And people are wondering, well, why are you recording this? Well, it's solely for the purpose of, at first it was solely because of the artist, because the artist would appreciate seeing it, because that's what I've always wanted to see my own personal footage, and when I was still playing, to see it in good quality with good audio. And so I did it initially for the artist, for you guys, but then I realized, oh, wait, but the fans actually really like seeing themselves at concerts too. And so now I try to film a little bit more of the audience. And so I hope that I did you guys some justice, and maybe 10 years from now, it won't be like Wausau in some gritty footage. It'll be, when I want to see that Fresno footage, 2021 footage again, I just pull that up and it's there.
No, thank you, Long. I just want to say, we truly appreciate what you're doing, not only for us, but for the rest of the music community as well. And I think that, what you stand for by wanting to support the artists, and I just want everyone to know that Long doesn't receive any compensation for any of this. He just does it surely out of the love for his music community and for the Hmong people. And Long, I just want to say, thank you for everything that you do and everything that you and Paradise have given to us, and the rest of the Hmong community. You guys have done a ton, and I think what you're doing right now is definitely going to help carry Hmong musicians into the future, because it's great to be able to look back and watch these videos, and I'm not gonna lie, we all love watching videos of ourselves playing live because it's just so interesting. And I think the quality and the sound, the amount of effort you're putting into your work, like if you don't know, Long works so hard. He was at our show that night, and he was at another show a couple nights later. He was at little events in between, and Long, you do this all out of your own pocket and out of your own love for giving back. And thank you for doing what you do. We really appreciate it.
Well, I love doing it. It's so fun. It's ridiculously fun, because it's really fun to just record and watch. I learned so much from watching other musicians perform, you guys especially, because everyone does it a little bit different. And I stepped away from Paradise about a year, 2 year, I don't know, it's all blur now, year, 2 years ago. And I never would have thought that I would have been able to connect with so many other musicians after leaving. And it's afforded me, there is some privilege in being being a member of Paradise, because now I can go around and I can say hi to people and they kind of know. and if I'm filming them, they're generally cool with it. But it's been really fun. I've met so many musicians in the last 3 months. It's amazing, and I plan to continue doing it, because I think the the community really benefits from it, and I try to do my best, and I'm learning from my mistakes and getting better at it, and so I'm sure I will be filming you guys eventually again in the future, and I wanted to thank you guys for coming up, and it's a Friday night. It's almost 10 o'clock. We were supposed to start at 7, but we started at 8. It's okay. We're super flexible. Long time. I never would have. This is so wonderful for me because I never would have been afforded the opportunity to talk to you guys so intimately. And here, this is just the beginning of the conversations. I'm sure that if we hunkered down and we got really nerdy and started talking gear, oh my god, we could talk even more lengthy. But yeah, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Is there any uh, some people are asking before we close things out. So what's next for Sunrush? What's gonna happen? Are you guys working on music? I know that Chino mentioned certain projects. What can the audience expect from Sunrush?
Honestly, we don't know, man. We're just gonna have to see what happens because today we might not feel like anything, but tomorrow it could be like a whole new. It's an every day is a new day, so just
Yeah.
depends on what we're feeling, and we don't even know. So it's just gonna be one of those things where one day we're just gonna get up and be like, okay, now we're gonna put an album together and go from there. So, um, yeah, as far as I know, man, I don't know.
You know what's you know what's interesting? You guys heard him say it, Dang.
Yeah.
Dang said that Dang was gonna, he was wrapping things up, and I told Dang, don't ever stop, Dang, because no one will ever feel Dang's vocal
Mhm.
niche, and so it's so important that they don't stop. I stepped out of Paradise, but that doesn't mean I've stopped music. I haven't stopped video recording. So I mean, musicians are like crack addicts. We just can't stop it. You can't stop music. One way or
That's
another,
true.
you're gonna put your finger or your vocal
Yeah.
in somewhere.
Like when it
Um,
comes to like what do we have like solidified, I'd say we don't have anything at the moment. But if you want to say like what do we want to do, um,
mhm.
we definitely want to continue contributing new music to the industry. We want to definitely continue contributing, you know, new styles of music videos. We hope to do another tour hopefully in the near future, and maybe something a little longer. We only did about 5 or 6 shows last time, but we definitely want to do more touring, um, and not just during the Hmong New Year. We want to tour like throughout the year as well too, so that we can bring our music to the different communities, in times between the Hmong New Year, so they don't have to wait all the way into the New Year. So yeah, we don't see an end in sight. We definitely want to continue doing what we do because, like you said, it's music's like a drug, right? Once you get into it, you just can't stop. And for us, we live for playing live, and in order to be able to support that, we need to continue writing music, putting up music videos, keeping the fans happy and entertained. So definitely, we want to continue doing what we do and doing it better and doing it more often.
Very
So
good. Kat?
I think, yeah. So as much as like our fellow Hmong Americans have shown us so much love over the years, I feel that I mean, I don't think I'm alone in feeling this way, but I think the band would love to maybe explore the other continents and
Hmm.
share some love with our Hmong people, outside of North America as well. Hopefully, being able to get in some live shows overseas, perhaps Australia, France, Laos, Thailand,
Very nice.
um, and definitely, working on new stuff. I feel like there's always like that one thing that all of a sudden triggers like an album, and I think we're just waiting for that to happen. So yeah, but
Very
maybe
good.
being snowed in and having this pandemic keeping us, stuck at home might get us, working on some reasons to get away.
Very nice. Raj or Cam?
Um, yeah, you never can tell where the journey is gonna take you, or where we're gonna end on this journey, or the next stop. We'll say it'll never end. But you know what? Especially over the last two shows, and of course, with this pandemic, we heard we hear the fans loud and clear. Uh, it's something that everybody still wants and feels is still relevant, I guess, and we want to. That's kind of our motivation. It's our drive. In this industry, it's definitely not about the money. It's not about the fame or anything like that, but it's about you know having our music come from the heart and reaching the audience and they share the same vibe with us. So especially with the smaller show in Minnesota, we met a lot of fans that were I guess you can call them purists for Sudden Rush because there's a lot of different choices that they could have picked from, and you had to be fully vaxxed, and there was all these stipulations, and for the audience to be there, and they were there, and it was this repeat message of don't stop, keep going, don't stop, we need this. So as long as that's around, I don't think we'll see, you know, an end to Sudden Rush or even like Joe and Gina were saying, the creation of music or supporting the music industry and up and coming artists and things like that are always things that are talked about, uh, you know, in the band, mostly from Gino and Joe. I mean, they're the geniuses behind everything. But yeah, I think Sudden Rush as musicians will be a never-ending journey. We'll see where we end up next, but we do hear their friends loud and clear, and we will do what we can to, you know, keep everybody happy and do what we can to come see everybody as many times as we can. So
Yeah, so 2022, I guess this new year. I think we're just gonna be spontaneous on this one here. Just play it by ear and see how everything goes. With the COVID situation, it's always tough for us, especially being from a different country. I think I don't know about the rest of the band, but the last two times we came out, and I think the most stress I felt was just be coming back home and stuff like that. So I'm just a little bit worried about the traveling, but I think once all this blows over, it's
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen, and like the rest of the other members have said,
Yeah.
overnight you might just be like, okay, let's just create an album next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll play it by ear and see how all that goes. But
Yeah.
definitely with all the fans always giving lots of words of encouragement, other fellow musicians as well too. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen, but I mean it's always in our hearts and it's always there that yeah, we want to continue forwards.
All right. Well, you guys have won me over. I didn't go to very many Hmong concerts until 3 months ago. So it's been a pleasure seeing you guys on stage. If you guys ever need anything of me, we're technically family.
We are.
I'm as far as a couple clicks on your computer. So
Yeah.
it was a true pleasure with all of you guys here. Tong made a comment. He said, "I hung up my gear for good." So y'all keep it up. Make me proud. Love you guys. Glad I got the chance to share the stage with y'all. Good luck. What Tong doesn't know is that he's a drug addict too. He won't stop. He just doesn't know it yet.
He doesn't know it
He's
yet.
just
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Tong too. He's a lot like Bear, and then those two guys have really been there to support everybody. So I think that as long as Tong is still here, I think it'll he's kind of that guy that's gonna motivate all of us to to keep it going. As you can see what he's doing right now, every other comment is Tong on there, just showing his support. So
We just have to
Kudos
say,
to him.
hey, collaboration, and he's gonna grab his gear back.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Tong was actually the first one to come see us at the sound check too.
Yeah,
Even though
he
he
was.
couldn't make the show, he was there to see us to make sure that
Interesting.
you
Yeah,
know,
I
to give
saw
us
that.
pretty much give us his blessing.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get you back on stage, Tong. Don't you worry about that.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Absolutely. You're just like Brother Burr. You guys are always there to support us, Tom. Just so you hear us loud and clear that no, we appreciate the support and the love, and music will always live on.
All right, guys, we've done it. We've passed 2 hours, believe it or not. It's felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
like
it
I
did.
said, it's so easy talking to you guys, and You guys are so chill. I mean, as a whole, I would say Hmong musicians are super chill, and you guys especially are relaxed. You guys are amazing on stage. You guys are super intelligent on how you play your music. If I could do it, I would do it that same way too. Um, all right, guys, have a blessing in 2022. Have a great New Year. We're we're in the middle of COVID, but stay safe. Any last comments before we shut this down?
No, just we hope you feel better. How long? And
I feel better already.
yeah, you look like you're
especially after this conversation. I feel really good.
yeah. It's you look like you're feeling much better. So we hope the best for you and for your family and everything. And just thank you to the fans. All the fans have been extremely amazing. Despite we went through like a huge hiatus back in the couple of years ago. We were gone for like 5-6 years, and the fans stayed true. And the fact that we have our moments when we feel like, like is live music still the way to go? Is playing live band music, is that the way to go? And the fans continuously prove us wrong. You guys prove us wrong every single time we start having those feelings. And thank you for keeping our dreams alive by supporting us and showing us that there's still the need for live music out there. So thank you everyone, our fans, our family, for all the support, and thank you for guys like you, Long, who support the bands and the artists that are continuously giving back, and we hope that we can have as much energy to do the same thing that you do one day when we decide to hang everything up.
All right, guys.
Hey, so hey, Long, I just want to say thanks for doing what you're doing. Not just for us, but the other artists, as well as for the fans. And just thank you for helping us, in preserving these memories. Like, like you were saying, like, we go and play these shows, and I have like no footage in my phone of anything. So it's just really nice to be able to look back and go, oh, wow, like, we did good and everybody showed up for us. And wow, like, at times when we feel like giving up, sometimes just kind of seeing, what kind of impact we've made, it gives us that little bit of a push to kind of hang in there, right? And yeah, but thanks for doing what you do as well, because it also helps the fans, I think, connect with us on a different level, not just relating to our music, but getting to know us as people, and some of the struggles that we go through to give them music, right? So thank you.
It's a pleasure recording. I would record you guys any day. All right, guys. It was a pleasure. Stay safe during COVID, and I'm looking forward to anything that you guys will be putting out soon. And of course, I'll eventually come visit you guys. And well, yeah, we'll see. That'll come to fruition. All right, guys.
All right, Long.
You all have a great
Thanks, Long.
2022.
Take care, Long.
Bye, Long.
Take care, man.
Bye, everybody.